Yo, yo, yo. I was just testing if it worked. It was a bit slow. Um, Casper here, back with episode 5 of Stab mini campaign. Let's call it that. Previously known as Hackmoor. Um, yes, we ended. Oh, I should start elsewhere perhaps. Last night I tried to do this, record this episode again. I had still some issues with the low resolution of the video and lag in OBS. I have sort of fixed it. As you can see, it's a bit more sharp, but it still does the blurry thing with the dice. But it's sort of better and it's more sharp and it's not so laggy. So I don't know what I did really, but I kind of fixed it. And yeah, so that's what I started to record. I couldn't really use because it was so bad. So now I'm trying to do it again. I didn't get that far into the recording. Couple of disclaimers. There might we are babysitting a cat named Ruth. She might come in and visit us and attack the camera. Let's see. One other thing, I made uh, one sec. I made characters in Clip Studio Paint. Let me get them up. Yes, here we go. We got the character sheets. We got Dagobert. We got Bianca, and we got Thunder, and lastly our torchbearer and mapper, Rupert the Torchbearer. Yeah, so there's that. Let me just quickly hide them again. In the days leading up to this, I thought about how we could run, because when we ended last time, we ended sort of in the swamps, and we had an encounter with a were-crocodile. And right after that, oh yeah, I should perhaps mention that maybe after the were-crocodile died, the laconic brickmaker sort of, or, or the alligator turned back upon death after we looted its stomach back to the corpse of the laconic brickmaker. Anyways, that's just to say that I think that that's pretty gross, but that kind of happened. So he's just lying there in the swamp, deep swamp water, floating around. Then the final bit of the episode, we encountered sort of a thing that I interpreted as the fallen star, and there was some sort of I can't remember exactly what I wrote, but I interpreted as a sort of a spotlight or a scanner that was scanning the area. What I thought about is that it could also, of course, be some sort of targeting turret, but I don't want it to be that. I'm thinking there could be multiple of options, but I'm one suggestion I have open in my mind is that, of course, the if it's a sort of a UFO or spacecraft, it's sort of crashed, but it didn't crash like, it's more like an angle so they can actually move around inside it if they get inside it, which they will do. Anyways, so I'm thinking that they're seeing this sort of spotlight that is sort of searching for something, or sort of uh, light that scans the area. And I'm thinking they're walking closer. I think there's some dead trees in the swamp, and they're sort of hiding behind it. And in the mist, just barely, they can see this scanner operating. It's like a periscope or something from the rear end of one of the, yeah, from the up UFO somehow. They can see that. And what I did yesterday in the recording is that I rolled to see if they were used, because they are level 3 characters. I I asked the Oracle, are they used to meeting sort of the bizarre and the gonzo and the sci-fi? And actually, I wrote the following that um, Rupert hasn't encountered anything like this before, and Sandor sort of is very familiar with these sort of things, and both Dagobert and um, have also encountered similar strange things, but not on the same level as Sandor. So they're not like completely spooked by this. It's a thing in the setting that is sort of there's an element of sci-fi in this fantasy setting, so it's more like a fantasy setting, I guess. So they're not completely unfamiliar with the strangeness and weirdness. Anyways, what I'm thinking that what I played out last night in the recording was that uh, Bianca, she loads up her sling and tosses a sling stone at the sort of the hull, and when that happened, the periscope or the whatever that is antenna thing sort of uh, docked down and disappeared into the hull via a hatch or something. And but the door in the sort of the wing or whatever how the construct looks would open because I think that whoever is inside uh, might be interested uh, in these characters sort of as test subjects, or I don't know. Let's see what happens. It can be completely another scenario, but the door opens up. Uh, and the characters uh, take a deep breath and embrace themselves, and they sort of slowly walks up, of course, aware of all their any dangers there could be. And they look into a hallway, but there's a blinking light inside the hallway of this hull or structure. And now it comes. For usually when I do mm, sort of dungeon runs, I use the Osric randomly generated procedural dungeon generator, I should call it. But for this one, I thought a bit about what I should do, and I found this old mythic location crafter thing that's for sci-fi and spacecrafts. There is one for dungeons as well, but this is for spacecrafts. But this, mm, funnily enough, this is more you can plan ahead with how the structure of this tool is made. I want to use it on the fly. I could have rolled every location beforehand, but I mean, where's the fun in that? So we're going to do it on the fly, but we are going to not use it strictly as it is. We're going to use it with GUM, the game unfolding machine. So, okay, and I should also say that I will be making a map, but the map will be sort of abstract. It's not how the actual architecture of the spaceship looks. It will be more connectors and rooms and whatnot. But what we're going to do is that we walk into what I'm thinking it would be sort of a hallway or um, I'm not thinking, um, airlock or something like that here. This is sort of a very uh, easy access doorway. So let me get up the tables so you can actually see them. Let me show you how this works. Yeah, perhaps to begin with, we should maybe roll on some. I'm thinking it's sort of a medium. You can choose between small, large, or space station. So we're taking large. I'm thinking that is medium. So let's roll a descriptor on that. I of course want to. Yeah, you can see it. So I'm going to roll a 100-sided die here. So that is 8, and that is yeah, we can't really use that. This is specifically for sci-fi uh, scenario. It says this the ship has not been responding to communications. So we can't really use that. This is a story descriptor. Uh, we can of course roll on sort of what it looks like. I rolled 23. Crude and rough design. Yeah, and I'm also thinking that it's partly damaged in some way. So let's keep that in mind. So what I want to do now is I simply take yeah, the simple hallway. So the first location is a simple hallway. Then what you would do, you would both roll on encounter and object. But I don't want to do that, I think. But what I want to do is I want to roll on gum, because I think it's a bit more what I want to use it for. So I'm rolling a 20-sided die. Oh, I should also say that where the dolphin is, I want to use this, of course, in conjunction with the monster overhaul uh, and the whoopsie. Um, there's this generic spaceship thingy in the back of the book um, that I can use it in conjunction with because it has some nice details we can use. Sorry, I'm a bit sick. I'm actually home from work. Yeah, generic space wreck. So I can look at this from time to time and perhaps use some of um, the key elements from this. There's an entrance room here. Yeah, for instance, this just says hull breach, where it's sort of where the breach is. We are just walking through a door, so it could be anywhere. But jagged shards of chrome, and wisps of cold vapor. So I'm thinking we also have these wisps of cold vapor, or this steam maybe getting out now and then. Anyway, we're going to also, of course, use that to help us generate some content. Let me see. There's also generic control panel. I think we can use that as well. Yeah, there's also the generic vault thing here. More vault building, but the control panel would be funny to use. So, anyways, let's roll the scene thingy for each in gun for each element we run into. So 17, a difficult situation. Uh, Inconvenience makes things worse, or intel was not accurate. I think there is an inconvenience table, so we can roll on that. Let's try and do that. Da, da, da. Yeah, there's an inconvenience issue table here that says inconvenience. We can try and roll on that. See what happens. Trespassing illegal. Uh, we don't know why the door opened. It could be because pure luck, because of Bianca's stone, or maybe she hit I mean the door handle, which is of course some sort of button, or maybe it malfunctioned and I don't know. The door opened, but trespassing illegal. I'm thinking what happens is that there is some sort of alarm that sort of sets up, but the alarm is also sort of malfunctioning, like alarm, alarm, intruder, intruder, and then there's some red lights blinking, but it sort of works and then not works and then it works again. And I think this will sort of up the stakes of an encounter or something. I don't know. Um, yeah, I don't know. The situation is tense, and I think what we're going to do is that we're going to have um, Rupert do a morale check. So let's get Rupert up and check his morale. Ba 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 ba. Where are you? Oh yeah, put up. Rupert's morale is 5, then he's controlled by, or it's Sandor's um, um, Hintman. So 2d6. Uh, 7. That's so okay. What happens is that I think Rupert is getting totally scared, and his initial reaction is it's really to flee. But then I think that Sandor comforts him, but or sort of tries to stop him. But then Rupert turns himself invisible. So um, Rupert disappears uh, because that's his usual way of sort of doing stuff. Uses new talent of invisibility, but he's still there. But the downside is that he used his once per day ability of invisibility. So he's staying invisible until he does some sort of uh, attack action or okay. So he can't use that anymore, but he's of course invisible. And the problem is though that he's carrying the torch. One sec. So maybe actually also let me uh, take care of that. So he's down to 11 torches. But I wonder what happens when, he becomes invisible with a torch in his hand. I think light goes out, and I think one of the other characters have to light a torch. Let's see. Or lantern, perhaps. Does anybody have a lantern? I think it will be Sandor. He can borrow. Sandor lights the torch. You know what? Actually, he doesn't, because Rupert is clever. He hands the torch to, or will he become? Let's just say that Rupert hands before he went invisible. He just dropped the torch. Anyways, okay, let's go on. So, yeah, Um, but one thing we need though, we need descriptors. And I think I want to use the mythic thingy for that because it has nice descriptors. So we're going to roll some location descriptors. This hallway 55 is positive. Okay. 46 is meaningful and positive. What? What? And we also rolled it. It was sort of a rough and meaningful and positive. Okay. So I'm just interpreting that as, I mean, the hallway is sort of, it's not bizarre in any way. So it's sort of, maybe it's, maybe there's some signs they can understand that an arrow this way and um, what is the positive thing? I don't know. I don't know. Should I re-roll that? No, let's just. I don't know what the positive thing is. Um, okay, so uh, let's see now how this is connected. So we're going to roll a connector. Oh, what I'm also going to do is I'm going to draw an abstract hallway. We entered here, sort of. But there's this alarm that's sort of going wacky, like intruder alarm and something like that. So it's a bit tense. So how is the next patch? 49. It's the same. Uh, I'm just going to say that there's this part where it sort of transition area. Um, so we're going to roll on gum. Uh, yes, we're going to roll on gum. 10. There's an object. Something to interact with, be taken or somehow actionable. And let me roll a couple of descriptors for that. I could just roll descriptors here in gum to mix it up a bit. Let me do that actually. So should I roll for subject here? Let me just check this out. Yeah, descriptor plus subject, useful to refer to a topic, object, item, or any specific. Could also be descriptor plus descriptor, useful to describe, for example, objects, locations, people, and monsters. You know what? Let me first do how it looks, sort of descriptor plus descriptor. See if I can get anything out of this. 15 is confidential. 14 is concealed. Oh, so it's sort of, I'm going to say that there's an object they necessarily haven't found it in this hallway. Uh, confidential. Hmm. That could sound like a computer with a code word. I'm going to write some notes on this piece of paper here. Oh, one other thing. There's this progress point I need to add when I roll. I forgot that, but it doesn't change anything right now. Okay, so I'm going to roll for descriptor plus subject now. 63 is negative, and 81 is resources. Ah, okay. So, so that's sort of the information they can get out of it if they understand this. Okay. First of all, do they notice this thing? So I'm getting the character sheets up. Uh, bum, 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 bum. Not Rupert. Um, I want the one man, Sandor, uh, who's familiar with weird science stuff. So, um, and his exclamation mark is also quite high, which is awareness. So I'm going to roll to see if he discovers this concealed object. 6. He rolled a 6. Oh, one thing. Oh, I forgot that. One thing I wanted to mention is that for the use of, I don't know if I want to um, introduce this to my rules yet, or if it's something I do when I play solo, but I figured it could be funny to have, if I roll the same number, he has 6 in exclamation mark, uh, awareness, presence, and whatever it was, and will, sorry. That is it's a partial success if you roll the same. So there's some sort of you you pass your test, but it comes with some sort of cost. Uh, so I'm thinking that could be funny, and it will definitely help us have some more story options. So Sandor, what happens? He discovers it, but it's um, because of the crash. It's either, or maybe it's because it's confidential. There's a lock mechanism or something. It's locked. You need a key card or something. But I'm going to write that there is. I'm thinking that it's a computer of, so it's a console. And we have consoles in the book, but I'm thinking that it's magic might would be able to open it, but he doesn't have any spells that would work. Actually, he does. He's got knock, the knock spell. That could be funny. Let's try that. So he's seeing these. There's some sort of you need some sort of normally you would need some sort of access card or something, but he understands this. Has he's familiar with the weird, and he sort of grasps it or bits of it, and he says, "Oh, this this is a mechanic uh, machine," and he's sort of let the other know that he's sort of the expert in the field, and it makes it much more interesting than what it really is. And hey, I know of a way to open this thing. Step back a few yards, will you? I don't know why he says yards, but makes it sound more British. Okay, okay, so he's going to cast the spell knock. So let's see if he does that. Um, 7, so -2. Yes, he cast the spell, but um, my new ruling is, yeah, you'll see. In order to cast it again, my old rules were that you should roll uh, um, a 2 to 0, but um, he can cast it again, but uh, I said that the rule were that it was 1d6 turns to be able to cast it again if you just passed the test. But I changed that a bit so to make it, I mean, I felt it was too easy. So I changed that to 2d6 turns. So you can use the knock spell again in 2d6 turns. Sorry, in 9 turns, sorry. So I'm going to note that somewhere. Knock 9 turns. So actually we are on our second turn. And I'm going to, because if I use the gum table, the encounter chance is a bit on the low side. So I'm going to roll, I think, and on the old school encounter way, see if we have an encounter. Also, we don't. And I'm going to do that every second turn. Let me remove this character sheet again. Okay, so he opens the console with the spell. But, alas, it sort of lights up, and there's a code word. I'm just going to say that there's some sort of password. I'm thinking maybe that okay, they still need a password. So if you run it a bit like Mythic, I'm going to call this a thread, or I'm going to make a thread list. So we have console slash computer, and then we also have a password, because there's no way. I'm not going to say that he can use uh, this computer, or he knows what it is. But also, I rolled negative resources, so this is sort of going on behind the scenes. I'm going to add a note here: negative resources. We don't know what it means yet. Other, it could be that they can maybe find some intel on some sort of resources. It could be all sorts of things. Maybe power is going out soon, or they're on a timer. They don't know this. Anyways, so they can't really get any further here with this. So it's 1. So now I'm progress point at progress point 2, and I'm rolling for the next room connector. Here we go. It's the same. Okay. So I was actually imagining sort of maybe some long arms or something like that. This might be much wider and bigger. I'm just drawing it like this. So we're going to roll on the location first here in Mythic casing thingy to see if we have something. So it's plus 2 points, so it's 11. So it's known or random. That means if you just planned this beforehand. So random location. So I'm going to roll on some location words here. I'm going to roll on 2 of them. So that's 40. That's intense. And 42 military. Intense military. So okay, I'm thinking that here and here there are some turrets. Yes, that is what I'm going to say. uh, we should perhaps already roll the next connectors because there might be some ways out. I'm going to roll the next connector over. 57. It's actually the same again. Okay. But it is a large spaceship. So, okay. Question is, okay, two things. Yes, let me roll on the gun table for a new scene. 8 NPC presence. Someone neutral could know something, otherwise move on. Okay, the question is it somebody else in the swamp that comes in via the hatch, or is it someone aboard the ship? And is that 50-50? It's someone neutral. We had a intense military thingy here. I have an idea. You know what it is? It is a very formal robot. I'm going to or an android of some sort. But the design was very sort of crude, so I'm thinking sort of an this is Gonzo and everything, so it's sort of an old school robot that is very polite. It comes driving down the hallway here, and I'm thinking that the turrets are sort of animated, or they don't do anything, but they sort of aim for them, and this very polite robot thingy comes up uh, and talks to the characters and says, "Welcome aboard the ship." Um, but and he's speaking. He actually he has a voice. He knows he can speak the language, the local dialect even, because he has a voice what do you call it, voice filter thingy. Uh, there are some. You can roll a robot here in, but they are rather crazy. Robot servant. I'm going to roll a robot servant. Let's do that. Yes. I'm going to roll a robot servant. Let's do this. It dies 8. Human-sized mechanical creation. One tottering defect. Yeah, it's one defect servant robot. Human-sized mechanical creation. Buzzes, clicks, lights up panels, vacuum tubes, wide variety of forms, function, and colors. Voice, beeps, whistles, or distortion speech. Polite. Yes, he's polite and neutral. What can I do for you? Um, please leave the. Maybe he's polite. Please leave the vehicle, or you will be blasted to bits. Something like that. He wants to obey programmed orders. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, okay. What is the current standing? What are the current robot server standing orders? Let's roll on that. 10. Okay, he says, wait here for further instructions. Or is it him? No, I'm thinking. Maybe he's just waiting here. I'm thinking he says the same. He's just standing there. Yes. Um, I can roll 1d20 techno goblins. He has a solve it thyself illustrated repair manual. Oh, interesting. Okay, we can roll how he looks. This can be really scary. So, and we can actually draw him up. So I'm going to. Oh, that's good. I'm going to draw him up. That could be funny. His head is a glass dome. His torso is humanoid, semi-realistic. His left arm, it's a lightning prod. To catch lightning? Oh, wow. Right arm. Oh, that was it. No, I'm just whatever. Two. It's a flamethrower, of course. Spider sticks. Climb normal. What sort of add-on does he have? Poison tap. Is that under him, perhaps? So I'm going to draw a little so he drips poison. And we can also roll his his armor is as the AC is as plate plus shield. Wow, so that's 2. But I'm going to say sort of head is I don't know. 8. Okay, so what is his fuel source? Oh, solar. He needs to charge 1 hour of solar energy to function. Maybe he has a solar panel on his back. So, there should have been robot names. And he also has that book, of course. I think they're going to try and speak to him. So I think Sandor dares to speak to him. We can't see Rupert. He's of course completely freaked out. But he's sort of, I mean, neutral. So they sort of try and ask the robot, "Do you have a name?" Does it respond? I think it's likely. A +1. It does not respond. Okay. Then Sandor asks, "Can we? What? Why are you here?" It looks, and he's asked, "It looks like you crashed into the swamp. Did you intend to go here?" Does the robot reply, "Yes." He says, what does he say? Yes, we intend to go here. We intended to visit your planet. And then he says, "Why?" Sandor says, "Why?" And then I think he just replies, "That is confidential. Cannot what do you call it? Explain." Okay. Rupert. Sorry, not Rupert. Sandor says, "We are here on behalf of a I think Sandor can see that this is a machine of sorts. So he recognizes this as not as a living creature. And Sandor says, "Do you have a master we can talk to? Your boss? Someone in charge?" Is there someone in charge? I'm asking as the GM. No. He says, "No." Affirmative. I think Sandor asked, since the crash landed, did they use? Is there usually someone in charge of the ship? Yes. The robot replies. It's very difficult to conversate with a robot. So is your captain, or your you can call him captain, is your leader perhaps deceased? I rolled a yes. Will he share this information? I'm going to ask that. No. I'm thinking he says confidential, cannot share information. Okay. Okay. I think Sander asks, are we welcome aboard here? Or, in other words, is there something we can do to be welcome? Can we help with anything? And I think that's perhaps likely. No, but so there was actually many questions at one time. So then Sander says, don't you want to be able to return to wherever you came from? Yes. Then Sander says, perhaps we can help with that. And the robot sort of, I'm thinking, and Sander of course does not know if he can help with this. He's just trying to get the robot in a better mood. And I think it reacts quite positively. And it sort of relaxes a bit more maybe and says, interesting. Then get me home, get us home. And then Sander says, yes, it is very complicated. It will take some time. Be patient. Okay, and the robot sort of, I guess, is what you say, because it wants to go home. It's of course, it has to just wait and see what happens then. So I guess it will. I'm guessing it will let the party go in the into the spaceship further. And then Sander says one other thing. And then he points back at the console. Then he says, do you know the secret spell to open the computer? And then the robot says, yes. Then Sander says, I think I might need it to be able to get you home. And then I'm thinking that the antennas here, they sort of rotate and blink or something, and then it's sort of, all right then. And then it walks up, and then it puts his, it must be lightning thing to the control panel, and then it does something, and the panel lights up here. And oh, you can see that. Yeah, there's a console that sort of folds out from the. And then it says, it reads the screen and says, resources are negative. I don't know. I haven't found my robot voice yet. Whether it's very sort of robotic or just speaking like an English gentleman. Yes. So, okay. And then I think the robot goes into, because the robot was just programmed to sort of wait around. I think it's going back into this corridor here, and then it sort of has this space it can wait in for further instructions. And then it says, I can wait for further instructions in the hallway, and then it returns back here. Maybe it actually switches between speaking a bit more robotic and then like an English gentleman. And then the turrets, I think the turrets sort of go in a more relaxed position. Okie dokie. Let's roll a couple of more rooms. How is this hallway? Oh yeah, how is this hallway connected? Let's hope I'm not rolling the same again. 38. I actually think it's different. Wrong one. It says it expected, but we can't really... I expect something else, so I want to re-roll. It's same with intersection. So again, I should state that this is abstract, so this is not how the architectural things look. It's just to help us get a root. Very abstract. So we're going to roll on, and so that's actually progress point 4. So 1, 2, oh, not this one. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm adding 4 to this roll. 6. Plus 4. So that's 10. I'm rolling random words. For descriptors. 17 is dangerous. 35 is horrible. Horrible and dangerous. Okay. That could mean all sorts of things. What I'm thinking is that perhaps there are aliens on board this ship as well, in some sort. But I think that since it's horrible, I think there might be some dead aliens scattered about. Here and there. Some long-limbed aliens, we don't know. And what was the first word I rolled again? It was horrible and dangerous. How dangerous? Is it because of, you know... Yeah, let me actually roll on the gum table as well. NPC presence. Someone causing trouble in your way or otherwise unhelpful. Trouble. I'm thinking that... Oh god, what am I thinking? I might be time for a little break for my brain here. to think a bit about that. So I've been looking a bit in Monster Overhaul, and oh yeah, let me get that away. This one over here, and I'm going to use the alien visitor and not invader to roll up and some sort of alien who's there as an NPC. And then I'm thinking we'll go from there, and I'm thinking that after this encounter I might stop for today. Then I have recorded 1 hour and 5 minutes. Oh, already I have recorded 1 hour and 5 minutes. So okay, I know we just rolled up a robot, but I'm thinking we need to roll up this NPC. And we did not get a name for the robot, but that's okay. But that is apparently very difficult to do with one hand. So, well, okay. So, oh, also I forgot to keep track of turns. A couple of turns passed, and yeah. So let's roll the alien visitor. I'm thinking there are other dead aliens in the hallway. They're rarely hostile, it says here, but I'm thinking it wants something, so it's interested in that. But I think it's quite offensive, this one, because they crashed their ship. But let's start with rolling the appearance. Nude glowing orange humanoid. Orange glowing humanoid. I'm going to ask the Oracle, is it tall? No, but it's what it no, but it's fat. No, but skinny. 1, 2, 3. It's skinny. It's fat. Or round. Let's just say round. Okay. Communicates by forced memory recall. Oh, okay. I don't exactly know what that sort of... Okay. Visual ability. Um, 6. Visual ability. Minor teleportation. That's scary. Okay, that's wrong. Seems to desire blood on enormous scale. Or maybe I should re-roll actually. Blood. Yes, on enormous scale. It was. Oh my god. It wants blood and we are perfect. So maybe it knows how to say blood. And it has already, maybe it can actually I'm going to say that it sort of can inject it into itself, and that's why it is so round or fat, because it can inject it into itself somehow. Maybe via a, is it a device? Sorry, 1, 2, 3, a device. 3, 4, 5, it's something it has on its body. It's a device. It has already sucked the blood out of the other ones. No, you know what? Scratch that, because it's alien blood. It wants our blood. It wants human blood, or what's on Earth. This Earth, not the Earth. This world. Just wants blood on enormous scale. Okay, I'm thinking that we're not going to give it blood. So, and I'm thinking, is it... Doesn't say anything here about guns. Alien Invader has a ray gun. Uh, 2d8 damage, 10 shots, targets reduced to 0, HP are reduced to red ash. Okay, it has a 1d6 bio-altering touch, whatever that. Okay. It just repeats, blood, blood. I'm thinking that because the party does not want to give it blood, that it gets more and more sort of insisting, and it's quite scary, so I think they need to attack this guy. So... Yes, let's roll HP. Oh my god. 11, 12 plus 17 HP. What is its AC? As leather. Immune to non-magical damage. Okay. Leather is 7, right? I think so. Where's it? 8. Yeah, so leather is 7. But immune to non-magical damage. Okay. I think it will be surprise, so I'm going to judge that it's surprise, and we get a round of free attacks. And I'm going to say that... Oh yeah, let's... I had this... I was playing a bit of black pudding, or what is it called? Yeah, black pudding, James West black pudding, and he has a fun way of rolling initiative, and I thought we could try that. So they are... not counting Rupert, he's not going to fight. But so I'm rolling a 4-sided die because there are 3 members, and I reduce it by 1 to see how many will go. So it's giving the party a bit of an overhand, or in each situation. So let's try and do that to see how many can react. It's 2, so I rolled 3, so it's 2 of the party members goes. You know what? This is a sort of a surprise round, so it's all of them, all 3 of them in this round. Okay, let's get the character sheets up. Here we go. We have. I'm thinking that it's. Let's say that it's. She does not know this, because then she's going to attack. But I think it's our halfling first. Whoopsie. Actually, yeah, halfling first. Because she charges in. He does not know that she will not do any damage to this one. So I'm just letting her attack anyway. She's charging. That's a hit. And it does double damage, but it does no damage. So she is confused that she's trying to impale this make an impaling charge, but it does nothing. And she actually has 2 attacks, so she's trying again, and it still doesn't work. So it's like, shit! She replies and says, it's immune to normal weapons. And then Dagobert steps up and charges in with his magic weapon. Although Dagobert is not really charging because he can't do that because he's a paladin. Anyway, he swings with his... Oh, by the way, does paladin have 3 attacks on level 3? I keep forgetting that. Let me just check my own rules. Let's find it. Yeah, he just has, it's all first at level 4 he gets 2 attacks. So he's charging in with his Holy Claymore. And he rolls 6 minus 2. That is 4, so it's a hit. And the damage is 1d6 plus 1. Oh, 7 damage. Oh my god. It is not happy about that. So it's down to 10. So... Yes. It's... Sandor. Sandor, what do you do? It would be very unwise to throw a... I'm going to ask, is the corridor wide enough for that he can sort of use Orb of Fire, which is the fireball? No, it's not. It's sort of a narrow passage, so he will hurt if he casts... No, it doesn't say that it's immune to sleep. I'm thinking he's going to cast Sleep or Charm Person. Does not say anything about it, so... Okay, so he's going to cast Sleep on it. Okay. That is successful in a way that he can actually cast it again. Because I rolled 3 minus 2, that's 1. So he can actually cast it again without... doesn't have to wait. So he casts Sleep on the monster. And because it's alone and it's hit die 4, it will fall asleep. So it falls to the ground. And I'm thinking they're so scared of this thing. I'm wondering, does the robot react to this? That we are slaughtering one of its sort of comrades? Does the robot react? No, but... but something else does. I think we're going to stop here today on that, and I think also that because he's so righteous, and I'm thinking that Sandor, not Sandor, sorry, Dagobert sees this sort of almost like a demon of sorts. So what he's going to do is he's simply going to behead it with his claymore. So he's just chop. He's just die, demon. He says something like that, and then yeah, he simply chops the head off the alien, and massive blood cascades out of this obese alien body. So it's blood everywhere. Yeah, nice. And it's sort of its orange body stops glowing. I'm thinking that's really nice. I'm thinking here, what was the mission again? Was it just to sort of investigate and then report back? I think they need some to investigate this ship a bit more. So I should also remember that there are on the Nox spell there are still 5 turns left. Cast it again. I'm actually wondering whether I should say, that's one thing I thought about, maybe when you're miscasting, let's say you do that there should be the same time penalty, but you can't cast at all in the time penalty, so any spell in 2d6 rounds. That is something I'm thinking about. I want to balance it out a bit, but that's just something I'm thinking about. Anyways, I think that will be enough for today. I recorded almost 1.5 hours, 1 hour and 20 minutes, give and take. So that's enough for today, and I will pick this up some other time again. It was quite fun. We met a robot and a blood-sucking alien. So thank you very much for watching Stab mini campaign. Until next time, bye bye.